choose courage or you can choose comfort, but you cannot choose both. Today is another chance to get it right. Overcoming obstacles makes you stronger. The struggle you're in today is developing the strength you need for tomorrow. When you complain, you make yourself the victim. Leave the situation, change the situation, or accept it. All else is madness. When they go low, we go high. Courage is like a muscle. We strengthen it by use. You wake up every morning to fight the same demons that left you so tired the night before. And that my love is true bravery. Be fearless in the pursuit of what sets your soul on fire. You can suffer the pain of change, or you can suffer remaining who you are. Inhale courage, exhale fear. It takes a great deal of courage to stand up to your enemies, but even more to stand up to your friends. Are you feeling a bit shaken, maybe stirred, maybe fearful and doubtful and completely, utterly and wildly terrified? Good. Keep going. Don't lose sight of your final destination because of your current situation. You can choose a courage or you can choose a comfort, but you cannot choose both. Do not give your past the power to define your future. Be a warrior, not a worrier. Never let your fear decide your future. Just be kind and brave. That's all you ever need to be. Fear tricks us into living a boring life. We should all start to live before we get too old. Fear is stupid. So are regrets. The brave man is not he who does not feel afraid, but he who conquers that fear. Fear is the path to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. Anger leads to hate. Hate leads to suffering. The only thing we have to fear is fear itself. People living deeply have no fear of death. Laughter is poison to fear. Fear is the main source of superstition and one of the main sources of cruelty. To conquer fear is the beginning of wisdom. Avoiding danger is no safer in the long run than outright exposure. The fearful are caught as often as the bold. Of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears. Curiosity will conquer fear even more than bravery will. Fears are educated into us and can, if we wish, be educated out. You can discover what your enemy fears most by observing the means he uses to frighten you. Too many people are thinking of security instead of opportunity. They seem to be more afraid of life than death. Fear is the lengthened shadow of ignorance. Do the thing you fear to do and keep on doing it. That is the quickest and surest way ever yet discovered to conquer fear. To overcome fear, here's all you have to do. Realize the fear is there and do the action you fear anyway. Fear is pain arising from the anticipation of evil. In time, we hate that which we often fear. Fear is the needle that pierces us, that it may carry a thread to bind us to heaven. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. There are times when fear is good. It must keep its watchful place at the heart's controls. Fear makes strangers of people who would be friends. The enemy is fear. We think it is hate, but it is fear. The greatest mistake we make is living in constant fear that we will make one. The way you overcome shyness is to become so wrapped up in something that you forget to be afraid. Nothing in life is to be feared. It is only to be understood. Now is the time to understand more so that we may fear less. To dare is to lose one's footing momentarily. To not dare is to lose oneself. Try a thing you haven't done 3 times. Once, to get over the fear of doing it. Twice, to learn how to do it. And a 3rd time to figure out whether you like it or not. We can easily forgive a child who is afraid of the dark. The real tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Brown thought about it. Can a man still be brave if he's afraid? That is the only time a man can be brave, his father told him. Don't give in to your fears. If you do, you won't be able to talk to your heart. Don't be afraid of your fears. They're not there to scare you. They're there to let you know that something is worth it. Men go to far greater lengths to avoid what they fear than to obtain what they desire. I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: the fear of failure. Only fear can defeat life. It is a clever, treacherous adversary. How well I know. It has no decency, respects no law or convention, shows no mercy. Men go to far greater lengths to avoid what they fear than to obtain what they desire. Fear doesn't shut you down, it wakes you up. Never let the fear of striking out keep you from playing the game. No man is a failure who is enjoying life. Do not be afraid to give up the good to go for the great. Fear is in the eye of the beholder. What would life be if we had no courage to attempt anything? Where fear is, happiness is not. You miss 100% of the shots you didn't take. Do not fear mistakes. You will know failure. Continue to reach out. Extreme fear can neither fight nor fly. One of the greatest discoveries a man makes, one of his great surprises, is to find he can do what he was afraid he couldn't do. The greatest mistake you can make in life is to continually be afraid you will make one. Our greatest fear should not be of failure, but of succeeding at things in life that don't really matter.